Clippers versus Nuggets, Game 2 analysis. The Clippers just stole home court from Denver, so how did they do it? Well, the most obvious reason is Kawhi. I mean, Kawhi could not miss tonight. Up until, I think, the fourth quarter, he was like 11 of 12 on shots. He had like 32 points, and he only missed one shot. He ended up finishing the game with, I think, 39. And he hit some big shots, and he had a big steal at the end of the game to help them seal it. That is what's so amazing about Kawhi. You can never rush him. He will make sure he takes the shot he wants. He will get the look he wants, and it'll go in most of the time. One of the biggest plays by Kawhi was at the end of the game. I think it was like 50 seconds left or whatever, but it was really close. Jokic has the ball, and this is also partly why Denver lost, but we'll talk about this in a second. Jokic turns it over for a 7th time. Kawhi reads the play, though. This wasn't necessarily a bad pass by Jokic, although it was a little bit risky. Like, throwing cross-court passes sometimes can be risky, and that's how a lot of passes get picked off. But I didn't necessarily think it was a bad choice, but at the same time, Kawhi read the play. Like, it was so easy for him, and he snatched the ball and got a steal, and that kind of sealed the game, in my opinion. So shout out to Kawhi, because he obviously, again, is like one of the major reasons as to why they won. I also didn't love Denver's defensive coverage on Kawhi. Now again, just to be fair, he couldn't miss. So I mean, there's a chance that regardless of what you did, he was still going to make all the shots he made. But you see how they came with a double team here? Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon are both watching Kawhi. And then immediately, while Kawhi is still at the logo, because he's not taking that shot. Like, Kawhi is not shooting from there. Jamal Murray runs away, and like, I couldn't understand that. You could see Chris Dunn in the corner. He was about to run this way, but then he runs back to the corner, and Jamal Murray goes and gets him. And I understand you don't want to leave someone wide open, but Chris Dunn is not the best three-point shooter, and I don't know that Kawhi was even going to pass, to be honest. So what happens instead? You see Russell Westbrook is lurking, but like, he never really comes for the double team either. He just goes one-on-one with Aaron Gordon, and as good of a defender as Aaron Gordon can be, you can't guard Kawhi one-on-one. It's not going to work. And I'm not calling for them to necessarily double team him on every play, because I don't always think that's the most effective, game plan either, because then you're always leaving someone wide open. But in this case, I felt like it made sense. Because sometimes, again, you have to play the odds. And because Kawhi could not miss, he was on one of those heaters, I felt like I'd rather take my chance with Chris Dunn hitting a 3 when Chris Dunn actually missed a bunny at the rim, which almost cost the Clippers the game too. Shout out to Chris Dunn, though. He's playing very well. But like, I'll take my chances with Chris Dunn if Kawhi makes the cross-court pass. Hitting the 3 or missing the 3, then Kawhi just getting a one-on-one shot where he's just going to rise up over Aaron Gordon, and it's just cash. But even despite that, because I'm just being nitpicky there, because to be honest, both teams played well enough to win this game. Like, when both teams are going to go, well, obviously when Denver is going to watch the film specifically about why they lost, this is the major reason as to why I think they lost. Let me talk about Russell Westbrook. Also Jokic, I forgot about that. The turnovers. But besides these two things I'm about to discuss, there wasn't too many things where you look at during the game and you're like, this is why we lost the game. Like, both teams made their mistakes, but they both played well enough and made good plays in order to win this game. So like, I don't feel like this is a film session where Denver should just go change their entire game plan, because it was working pretty well. However, the Jokic turnovers, I don't need to spend too much time on that, but 7 turnovers, not going to get it done. Like I said, he had one of the biggest turnovers at the end of the game where Kawhi picked it off. Whether or not, again, it was a bad decision on his part necessarily, doesn't really matter. He had 7 turnovers. So this game was like a one-possession game, tie game in the fourth quarter. So 5 of those turnovers don't happen, maybe they're not in that position. But Russell Westbrook, I think, might be the reason as to why they lost this game. But not because of Russ. It's because Russ wasn't in the game. Russell Westbrook is a very polarizing player. You either love him or you don't like him. Like, sometimes he makes plays that drive people crazy, but he also always plays so hard, and he'll make the plays that help you win. Like in game 1. He made those plays that helped Denver win. And so we're in the fourth quarter. And what does he do again? Obviously, the Clippers were playing their odds. They were leaving Russell Westbrook open in the corner. What did he do? He knocked down 2 clutch threes, which I can't remember exactly what the score was, but I think that tied up the score or brought them within 3. Like, it seemed like the Clippers were about to pull away, and Russell Westbrook said, nope, not today. And then shortly after that, they subbed him out for Michael Porter Jr., who granted, did hit a three to tie the game like a minute later, but I felt like Russell Westbrook should not have been taken out of the game because I felt like as soon as he got taken out, their defensive intensity and their offensive intensity, like in terms of like crashing the glass, although Jokic was crashing, like he was trying to get every rebound too. But we know Russell Westbrook will find a way, right? So I felt like as soon as they took him out, they lost some of their competitive advantage. And maybe if you leave Russ in, the outcome is the same. Like again, Russ isn't the best three-point shooter. So I'm not saying it 100% would have made Denver win, but I felt like he was rolling at that. Like he was making threes. Like it's not like he was missing. He was making threes, and you know he's going to hustle for every loose ball on every defensive play, like everything. So like I didn't understand taking him out at that time. Like if he was missing shots, I get it. Like you're like, okay, we'll put in Michael Porter Jr. for offense because Michael Porter Jr. was pretty efficient tonight. And Michael Porter Jr., by the way, had like 15 rebounds. Crazy. But I feel like you have to roll with the lineup that is rolling until it's not rolling anymore. Like obviously there are variables that could change that. Obviously if Jokic was not in the game and they were rolling, there's a certain point where you're going to put him back in regardless because it's Jokic and he'll make them better either way. I'm not trying to compare Russ to Michael Porter Jr. in their games, but like I felt like it wasn't enough of a big difference in that moment that you needed to take Russ out when he was playing very well at that moment and could have helped you win the game. Like I said, these are just more nitpicky reasons. Again, both teams played very well, so like I don't think either team should go completely change their game plan, but I think when they go back and look at the film, they'll maybe they'll see that they should not have taken Russ out. Again, can't say 100% would have changed the outcome, but I felt like they were on their way.